One of the most significant and frustrating failings of pro-life advocates is misunderstanding bodily autonomy arguments. It's so common and it is so destructive that it causes conversations to basically hit a stop. But it's even worse than just hitting a stop. Often, neither side is aware that the conversation is now stuck because they aren't aware that they're just talking past each other. This is kind of a point of particular frustration for me and the rest of the team at ERI. And that makes particular obnoxious memes that completely misunderstand bodily rights arguments really, really frustrating and really, really harmful. So I wrote a piece to respond to the most common one. It's called "Fellow Pro-Lifers, Please Stop Sharing This Straw Man Meme." My body, my choice is possibly the most common slogan in defense of abortion right now, and an embarrassing number of pro-life people completely misunderstand it. Consider the following popular meme. And if you can't see the picture, it says, "For the logic impaired, not your body, not your choice, abortion is murder." And it shows a picture of a pregnant woman, and then it points to her whole body and says, "Your body," and then it points to the fetal human and says, "Someone else's body." Hilarious, right? Aren't pro-choice people stupid? Aren't they logic impaired? No. Please stop. To what is my body referring in the "my body, my choice" slogan? Pro-life people far too often incorrectly assume that it is the body of the unborn. If that was the case, then yes, it would be a dumb thing to say. Let's call this the scientifically ignorant view. That is almost never what pro-choice people mean. They mean the parts of the woman's body that are affected by pregnancy, such as her uterus, vagina, ovaries, etc. Those are indisputably her body parts, and pregnancy affects them. The pro-life mind is naturally inclined to be focused on the unborn, and understandably so. They are being killed daily by the thousands. Almost nothing justifies killing a human person. But to most pro-choice people, even if the unborn is a human person, women have the right to kill the unborn if they are inside her body. This is the bodily rights view. Shouting that the unborn is a human being does nothing to respond to the bodily rights view. Absolutely nothing. To put it another way, consider the following basic pro-life syllogism. Premise 1. It is morally wrong to intentionally kill human persons. Premise 2. Abortion intentionally kills human persons. Conclusion, therefore abortion is morally wrong. When pro-life people hear "my body, my choice," far too many assume that the pro-choice person is denying premise 2, when in fact they are denying premise 1. They aren't saying that the unborn child isn't a human person. They're saying that the woman is justified in killing him because he is in her body. If a pro-choice person says, "my body, my choice," never, ever, ever respond by saying, "but the baby has its own body," or "but the baby is a human being." Always respond with a clarification question to find out if they have the bodily rights view or the scientifically ignorant view. Here's the question I want you to ask. I want to make sure I understand what you mean, and I've heard people use that phrase in different ways, so help me out. Do you mean that the embryo's body is literally just part of the mother's body, like a kidney or another organ? Or do you mean that because the embryo is in her body, she has the right to kill it? I have asked some variation of this clarification question literally hundreds of times. At least 95% of the time, the pro-choice person has had a bodily rights view. If they are part of the 5% of pro-choice people that hold the scientifically ignorant view, graciously educate them. But if they are part of the 95% of pro-choice people that hold the bodily rights view, you have to respond with something other than a declaration that the unborn is human. To learn more about how to do that, I'd like to recommend 4 resources, and we'll link to them in the show notes. Autumn in the Sovereign Zone, Why It's My Body, I Can Do What I Want, Won't Do. Bodily Rights Arguments Necessitate Extremism. De facto Guardian and Abortion. And 2 Bad Pro-Life Responses to Bodily Rights Arguments. Some pro-choice people don't communicate clearly, so I'll give some pro-life people a pass for not understanding this distinction. But many pro-choice people are perfectly clear. The level of confusion pro-life people have about what pro-choice people actually believe is often a failure on their part to listen well, and a failure on the part of their pro-life friends to educate them and clarify this misunderstanding. Make no mistake, this confusion is a full-fledged catastrophe for the pro-life movement. In order for us to end abortion, we need to actively and graciously educate pro-life people who don't understand this. If we don't, then many pro-choice people will never hear a good response to their bodily rights view, and the well-meaning, ignorant, unintentionally obnoxious pro-life people will continue to drive them away. When one of your well-meaning pro-life friends shares a meme like this, take a few minutes to explain why they are misunderstanding the pro-choice position, or at least take a few seconds and share this post with them.